Good morning, everybody. So we have decided to do an interview, and it is with the one and only John Bone, who's here with us on camera.
Nice one, mate. John Bone, the manager.
He is. I'm just going to say, John has actually achieved the rank of manager within CFX. So we thought, who better than to bring out somebody who's actually been through the ranks, done this thing from the start, started at the bottom, he's worked his way up there.
Walk the walk and talk the talk.
Exactly. Yeah. Who else better than to ask somebody who's actually experienced this whole thing? And we asked him, would he come out and answer a few questions for us? And he's kindly agreed to do that. And hopefully that will answer some of your questions, guys, as you're looking into this opportunity as well.
Yeah.
So without further ado.
Morning to you, John. Nice one, matey.
How you doing, guys? Thanks for inviting me on.
Thank you much for your time. We don't take it lightly. So we know you've just come out of hospital, so we won't go into that one.
No, don't go into that. Just between you and us.
Yeah.
Right. So first question then, John. We'll get straight out the gates. What is your background?
Okay, so I am living down on the southeast coast in the UK. Beautiful little village just outside Clacton-on-Sea, and I'm a window cleaner by day. I've been running my own window cleaning business for about 16 years, 17 years. I've kind of forgotten, actually. It's around 16, 17 years. But yeah, I mean, I got involved in networking. I mean, do you want me to go to the very beginning, like I do on the presentations?
Just give us a little bit of background of what
right, okay. So I left school at 16 years old and went straight into the British Army, because my whole life goal was the heady heights of becoming an infantry soldier. You know, that's all I wanted to do. I grew up, I was a scout, I was a cub, a scout, an army cadet, and I just wanted to be a soldier. So left school, went straight in as what they call a boy soldier, junior leader. I actually was in this, and did a year's training, and a really tough year, but learnt me a lot of good lessons. And then I ended up going into my battalion and served for 5 years in the British Army. So I'm sure I'm going to keep this short, but obviously when I came out of the army, I decided at the ripe old age of 21, I better get out of the army now before I'm too old to turn my hand to anything else. Okay, so probably wasn't the best decision of my life, but I thought, you know, before I'm too old, I better get out into Civvy Street and figure out what I'm going to do with the rest of my life, right? So I came out and I suffered. I really suffered, like a lot of soldiers do, to that sort of transition between regimented life, where you're told what time to get up, when to eat, when to go to the toilet, everything. You know, your life is completely under a regime, if you like. But then coming out, I suffered for about a year. Couldn't really find any work. Was unemployed for quite a while, but eventually things started turning around. I found myself a job as a courier driver, so I was delivering priority parcels all over the UK and sometimes over into Europe, and really loved the job. You know, I was given my deliveries and I was just said, right, off you go, and I was sort of kind of my own boss, but not really my own boss, but was able to do that job quite well, and really loved being at different places all the time. Couldn't possibly be the sort of person that sat in an office, so that really appealed to me. So I went into that business, and probably about 3 years down the line, I was made redundant overnight. And I had a young family back then, so our lives,
isn't it? Yeah.
So our lives were thrown into turmoil. And long story short, I found another job as a courier driver with another firm, and then I started at that time, because I kind of realised I wanted to be my own boss. I started looking into work from home opportunities. So I found my first networking business around that time. It was Clean Easy catalogue distribution, which obviously a lot of people in the UK know about. And I did that alongside my courier job. So I was out delivering parcels all day, then I'd come home, go out, deliver a couple of 100 catalogues, and then go home. So it's a long old day, but I did that. And then a second time, I got made redundant from the day job. This is probably a few years into doing the network marketing alongside. And I decided then that my wife had found a really good job at that point. because she's from Eastern Europe, so she'd been learning English and finding her feet in this country. So things sort of turned around. She had the proper job, as I call it, and then I was able to say, right, that's it. I'm never going to work for anyone else again. You know, I'm going to focus on my Clean Easy catalogue distribution business. That's, you know, all I wanted to do. I tried the team building, didn't really work for me. I wasn't very good recruiting people to put catalogues out, but I really could go out and put 200 catalogues out every single day, and then every other day I'll pick up 200 catalogues, and I've just built up a huge customer base, and that gave me a reasonably decent part-time income. So the wife was working full-time, I was working part-time, I was there for the kids, and I was going to all the meetings, the local meetings, and absorbing all the information about this industry and what it can do for people. And I just love the industry, love the ability that this is a great level and anyone can do it. So I stuck with that Clean Easy catalogue business for about 8 years, built up a huge customer base in my local area. And it was those customers a few years down the line when my daughter went to primary school. I had more time on my hand, and then I said, right, I can tell you what, I'm going to see if I can set up a window cleaning business, because I did a little bit in the past. And I thought, you know, it's a good business to be in. Once I've built my round, it's job done, and I just go round and round in circles. So I knew there was a benefit to it. So I carried on. I went to all my Clean Easy customers, about 950 Clean Easy customers, and said, look, I'm thinking about becoming a window cleaner. Would you consider being one of my customers? So I had 200 of my customers straight away say yes. So I'm very thankful. You see how the networking, sort of I transitioned from the networking into becoming a window cleaner.
Yeah.
And that was about the same time when I set up my window cleaning round. I said, right, I don't need to do Clean Easy. I'm a bit fed up with that now. I could see everyone was going into online businesses, and that's really where I wanted to go as well. So I started online businesses, and I sold my Clean Easy customer base to another local distributor. And then I've started the online journey, and it's been like that ever since for probably about 8, 9, 10 years. You know, I've gone through all the scam businesses. I've tried all the get rich quicks. I've gone through all the gifting programs, and I've had some successes, but I've had a lot of failures.
So you've never quit, you've just kept going. That's a true entrepreneur for you.
Yeah, I mean, we all go through ups and downs, don't we? We all lose here and there. But one of the things that I learned in the army during that 1 year of serious base boot camp training, as they call it, you know, I learned that the only way I could give or fail is if I quit, because every time I'd go out on a run or do exercise or trainings or whatever we were doing during that year's training, the only way people were giving up was when they were giving up. Yeah. And I didn't want to give up, and I've had that sort of tenacious attitude in my head ever since. So yeah, just never quit. I never quit. I got knocked down plenty of times, which hurt a lot of times, through no fault of my own, on many occasions, you know, but I just got up and went again.
That's the one word we always use, isn't it? Because we've been self-employed for about, well, long now,
28 years.
28 years.
Can't beat
and
it.
The one word I always use is tenacity.
Yeah.
You get back up and you carry on.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. So that's kind of where I've come from.
Great.
Brilliant,
okay,
brilliant.
Thanks for that, John.
So what got you into CFX then, John? What was the difference between, you said about all the other businesses that were doing all this, what was is it an instinct with CFX?
It's a bit of a gut feeling, first off. Also, you know, I've seen the crypto world, I've seen the Forex world for many years. I've seen a lot of because obviously in all these years in the industry, we connect with so many people, don't we? And we see people branching into all kinds of different arenas and niches. And I've always known I wanted to get into something crypto related. I've always known I wanted to get into something Forex related, but I haven't got, you know, what can I say? It's not my mind. It's not in my. I didn't do very well at school. Let's put it that way. Okay. You know, so I didn't think getting in front of screens and learning how to trade. I didn't think that would be my forte.
No, right? It was way out of our forte as well, wasn't it? Yeah.
And the other thing, crypto. Although I knew it was something I needed to pay attention to. I mean, I was shown the Bitcoin space back in 2013, 2014. but it just didn't make sense to me. I couldn't figure it out.
Yeah.
So I knew these were two arenas that I wanted to get into. And the other thing was, it was a good friend of mine that shared this with me, right? A friend that I respect and someone that I trust. And I know he's done his research, and he's been on calls, and he's asked the hard questions of John Kinnear and all these people. When we got started, when he showed it back to me in probably early February 2020, obviously being out on my day job, I've always got my headphones in, right? So I've always got something I'm listening to. So when he shared it with me, I spent probably a week just listening to everything I could find. I went way back to the videos at the very beginning of July 2019, when this really started to go into pre-launch, and I listened and absorbed as much information as I could. And I thought, hang on a minute, this is Forex, tick, something I want to do. It's automated. I don't have to actually learn it if I don't want to, tick. And we get paid in Bitcoin, tick. Okay, so it all sort of aligned. And I thought, well, this has got to be worth more research, which is what I did out in the day job, listening to everything while I'm cleaning windows. I'm listening to webinars. But the thing that really turned me was when I heard about Ron Pope, okay, and the Conversion Pros are our technology partners. Now, a lot of probably the last 3 or 4 years, I've been involved in funnel building systems such as online sales pro, ClickFunnels, royalty. You know, that was my sort of thing, because I felt that I could bring everybody in network marketing into these sort of systems, because everyone needs lead capture, everyone needs to be able to get more eyes on their business. So that was the sort of thought that I had for the last 3 or 4 years. But it's tough. It is still tough. It's still tough because you have to teach people how to make the most out of these funnel building systems and how to generate leads and all the rest of it. But I knew about Ron Pope because he's CEO of the Conversion Pros, right? So the Conversion Pros were one of our competitors, if you like. And I never joined the Conversion Pros. I'd been in everything else apart from the Conversion Pros. Yeah. But I knew about Ron Pope, and I knew he had an awesome and incredible reputation online. So when I saw that he was partnering with CFX to set up the system, to set up the back office, to set up the reward system, and also to take care of all the legality side of things, that really piqued my interest. Because I know his company is worth multiple millions. Okay, it's a massive company. They create the websites and all the systems and legalities for multiple MLMs and Fortune 500 companies. Mm-hmm. So they're a very credible company. And when they agreed, they don't just agree to just put together systems for any old company. They're very particular, yeah. Because they've got their reputation to maintain as well. So when I saw that they had agreed, and that also Ron has a personal relationship with CFX CEO Oscar Lopez going back 10 years, that was really all I needed to see.
That was the icing on the cake.
Yeah. That was the icing on the cake. Plus the fact that Ron Pope, for the first time, he's been building Conversion Pros for 7 or 8 years by that stage, and he had also taken a position just like we have. So not only is he the technology consultant with his entire company, I mean, he's got all the legal team out in Washington, DC. Okay, they're the guys that are taking care of all the legalities of CFX moving forwards into the future. He's got all of his technology team working on the platform and improving the platform, but he'd also taken a position. Yeah. And he's built systems for multiple MLMs over the years, and he's never felt the need to join any of them. It was this one that he joined after 7 years of being retired effectively from MLM.
Mm-hmm. So did that make it, John, where it didn't feel to you it was like a flash in the pan? Because that's the feeling I got with my gut instinct and with needs of it. There's more to it than all the other companies like we were just talking about. So is that the qualifier? Like, this has got some gravity where it's going to last, because it's got legs. Because a few of the questions we get is, oh, it's only going to last another maybe 6 months, and we don't want to all the time have to defend companies, because when you've just spoken like that about what you've been through so far with CFX, it has got legs. Basically, this is how you feel as well.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. I mean, look, we got to be straight with people. There's never any 100% guarantees anywhere.
Yeah.
No one can ask for a guarantee. No one can be certain that something's going to last forever. But, you know, when I set up my window cleaning business, I didn't know if I was going to make it.
No.
And here I am 15 years later, I've got a phenomenal business. I love going out, still love going out, doing my window cleaning and meeting all my customers and finding out what's going on in their lives. And,
Yes.
you know, so I'm kind of a sociable guy and I enjoy that. So even though I've done so well with CFX over the last 63 weeks, I guess it is now, I'm still passionate about my network marketing business, but I'm still going to go out and do my day job, you know. But yeah, I mean, that was the clincher for me with Ron Pope. And at the end of the day, let's look at this. It's a $300 punt, I called it at the beginning.
Yeah.
It's $300. I'm not gonna, it's not gonna bankrupt me if anything goes wrong. You know, I've lost bigger money than that in the past, let me tell you, with certain systems.
I'm sure a lot of people have lost money on various different things throughout their lives.
Yeah. I mean, we've all been beaten up by this industry. I imagine if you haven't been beaten up in this industry, you haven't been here long enough. You know, so you know, but yeah, that was the clincher for me. And I said, right, that's enough. That's all I need to see. I took my $300 punt, and it's been awesome ever since. And I like the way. I think this is something special. Our CEO, Oscar Lopez, he made his fortune in network marketing, right? Back in I guess it's about 2012 to 14 sort of era, where he created this is actually where he knew Ron Pope from. They worked in a travel business together, okay? So it's probably a bit, the earlier part of the 2010, 12 arena, somewhere around there. Just after Bitcoin got started, basically, and then that company was paying their reps in Bitcoin, right? And so Ron Pope, whether he was Huasca's sponsor, I don't know that detail, but they were in this business together, travel business, and they were getting paid in Bitcoin. And this is where Huasca built an organization, 250,000 members in Latin America.
Yeah.
Right? And that's where he made his Bitcoin fortune. At the beginning of that company, he was driving some clapped out jalopy, going to meetings all over the place, and Ron would fly down from Florida and he'd go and help him because he was building a huge team. That's where they get back to. You know, this guy's got immense credibility in the business world now because he made his fortune at 2017 bull run. He sold half of his Bitcoin holdings, which made him about 90 million overnight.
Wow, yeah.
That was half of his Bitcoin holding, right? He's still got that stashed away somewhere else. So then he's made it, right? He's made it. He didn't need to do networking anymore. He didn't need to do anything else anymore. He'd made it, but he didn't stop there because he comes from a family of entrepreneurs. So he's gone into property in key locations. He's got government contracts and manufacturing facilities. He's got a personal relationship with the Panamanian president. He actually funded the Panamanian president's presidential election in 2019, I guess it was, and helped the president win that election. You know, so he's got some serious connections down in Panama. I mean, he's from Dominican Republic, so he's just across the water, but the way he works and the way I've noticed, because we're on leadership calls every so often with him, and I just like the way he keeps everything very close to his chest. Now, being an ex-army man, I understand you've got to sometimes keep stuff close to you. You know, you can't let it all just splurge out, especially in our industry, because if you let too much information out, it can be misinterpreted, it can be grabbed by certain, let's say, unethical people and twisted and made to look, you know, how they want it to look. So he's a clever guy, right? And he doesn't let anything out, any cats out the bag until it's truly ready to be let out the bag.
Yeah.
So it's a very progressive company still, I feel, John. It's still growing, isn't it?
Oh God, yeah.
We've got ideas behind where they haven't even released some of the stuff yet, which is that's what I like as well. There's going to be more years, a lot more years behind this company. That's the impression I get with what they're bringing out. Yeah.
I mean, they want it to be a proper, real legacy company, the first digital legacy company. That's the plan.
Great. Let's just come back to you then. because I know everyone will be very interested to hear what's happened with you. So you joined in, was it February then?
15th of February, yeah, 2020.
Okay, you've now been in 63
weeks.
63, 64
okay.
weeks.
You
I
started
haven't got my calendar here, so
you started on the $300 pack.
Yep.
Which is, yeah, roughly a couple of £100. And you've slowly gone through, or quickly gone through, I should say, gone through those different ranks, kept upgrading. So you took your money out, you didn't spend it, you reinvested it, went into your next package, kept upgrading.
Yeah.
And you've now become manager. You've hit the 100K rank, haven't you?
Yep, yep.
Which is
in my spare time as well, you know.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Amazing. Absolutely amazing.
Yeah, well, this is the beauty of this thing, right? So this is what I love about this business, is that everybody makes an income, passive income, and then those people that see it for what it is, you know, it's not a huge risk. It's not like anyone's going to lose major sums of money. So those people that run with it, you know, can do quite easily what I did, you know, 54 weeks. I was going for 12 months for the 300 to 100K. I missed it by 2 weeks, you know, but I can live with that. But yeah, I mean, everyone can do it. If I can do it, I think everyone can do it. I mean, all you need to do is just find your belief and forget all the negativity that's out there in the world, and to get rid of that, because that ain't serving anybody, right? That's not serving anyone. I mean, there's always haters. There's even haters to this very day about Herbalife and companies like Avon. You only need to type in Herbalife scam or Avon scam, and you'll see there are haters for those companies that are legacy companies that are still turning over billions every year to this day, you know? So you've got to release all that burden. You've got to get rid of it. All right. And this is what I've done. I just don't listen to it. Yeah, I may watch a new one and see what rubbish they've made up and twisted to their own agenda nowadays, but it ain't serving me. It's not serving my team. So I just literally focus on sharing and sharing and sharing. I've never sold it. This business, and I've just shared the results. I mean, the thing that's turned around for me is this is the first company where I've actually got my friends from the real world out there. So I've got a lot of real world friends as well, not just online friends. And you know, I've got them guys starting to get on board with it now as well.
Yeah.
Right? And that's huge. You know, that's important to me. You know, because these guys are now not only my best friends, but they're also trusting me in seeing what I've achieved here and saying, you know what, we'll take a position, we'll get on board with you.
That's exactly how we started. We've got 2 lots of friends in it, and we've been watching their results over time, and we've sat back and keep seeing their posts, and then eventually we're like, do you know what, let's just reach out and ask them what this is.
The fear of missing out, I think, John, wasn't it?
Fear of missing out, but I think the one blocker for us was because it was Forex, and I was like, I'm doing enough, I'm running other businesses, feel like there's too much going on in our lives at the moment to get involved with something else. I've got to learn. And then when we reached out and we found out it was passive, you could do it passive if you want to, I was like, oh, okay, tell me more. And that's how we came in. Of course, then when we got in, we've not been in very long ourselves, but when we got into it and started doing our research and asking loads of questions, which is what we do, we then discovered that, yeah, you can do it passively, or if you're quite happy to reach out to people and share your results, and they're happy to then reach out to you and come on board with it, you can build that even quicker and build a team beneath you who all have the same beliefs as you, and they're trying to invest in their future and their future security. And it's just been really, really eye-opening for us, isn't it?
Yeah. What's the relation with the split of who's proactive and who kind of uses it as a savings account, if you like? Because money left in the bank, John, as we all know, is not earning anything. So there is an element where people will just use it possibly as a savings account, and over maybe 6-7 years, just let it build up.
Yeah, absolutely. I've had a lot of people that have come in saying they just want to be passive customers, and saying that's absolutely fine. You know,
and that's not wrong, is it? That's not wrong.
No, not at all. I mean, at the end of the day, look, it's we've worked out a little. We call our team the Freedom Chasers, right? And we've worked out a Freedom Chasers passive roadmap for our team. Okay, we've worked out the numbers, and on a very conservative 5% a week, we've never gone below 5%. It will take approximately 5.09 years to go from the 300 to the 100k. Now, when you put that in relation to how long it takes you to build up a pension fund,
yeah,
that's a hell of a lot quicker,
yeah,
right? So even for a passive customer who doesn't want to team build, we've got a plan,
yeah.
a roadmap.
And they've got a spare 200 quid to put into it.
And you can start it from 200 quid. You never put another penny into it thereafter. There's no monthly fees. There's no auto ships. There's none of that stuff that takes people out of businesses. Let's face it. You know, we've all done product businesses, and we've all been on auto ships, and we know that that knocks people out a lot of times. You know, when they're not making any money, but they're still having to pay an auto ship, they end up falling out. That doesn't happen here because no one's got an auto ship or monthly fee. So that was a big turning point for me as well. But what it also does is it means that no one leaves. We've got 99.9% retention, you know.
That's fantastic, by the way, that, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah. And a lot of people come into this, like I said, as customers, don't want to do a team building. I mean, Sarah is a perfect example. One of my friends up in Wales, she joined, 35-year veteran in the industry. She's been beaten up more times than she cares to remember. She said, I'll do it. Eventually, she said, I'll do it. I'll give it a punt. It took me about 3 or 4 months to get her across the line, but she's, she's mid-70s. Lovely lady, been a good friend of mine for many years, but she said, all right, I'll give it a punt. And now she's also basically a manager. She's just blowing it out of the water. Once she saw it working, once she built her belief, she was like, holy, what is this all about? It's like there's none of the pitfalls that we've had in so many other businesses. Now we've also got people here that are, you know, passionate about a product or a service business, but they're using this as a plan C.
Yeah.
They're putting their returns from that previous business into this to make it money work harder for them, you know. So it's a win-win on all sides. It can be done perfectly passively. It can be done perfectly if you want to go for it and really take advantage of it. And so it works for everybody in every situation.
Sorry, John, it's respecting your own money basically at the end of the day, isn't it? Because you know, Barclays recently, I think yesterday, was saying they made 1.4 billion off the back of our money being in their bank.
Yeah.
What did we get?
And what do we get back? Don't even get me started.
That's another thing altogether, another rabbit hole, isn't it?
Yeah.
So the one thing as well, which I didn't expect coming in, was like the support. So if you can just touch briefly on, we've got the chat group, haven't we? We've got the webinars and things. You can just give a little brief overview of that so that people understand, because you're not on your own when you join this by any means. And I think that really helps when your newbies coming in to know that you've got some level of support there.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, being in the army, support is really serious. You know, it's all about support, right? So being ex-army, I need to know that everybody's being looked after. And so I've set up a messenger chat when I got started. Our messenger chat has its limitations. You can only have 250 people in a messenger chat. So that filled up pretty quickly. So we opened up a second messenger chat. So we called it Freedom Chasers 1, Freedom Chasers 2. That filled up really quickly. So it's like, oh God, what are we going to do? We can't keep growing messenger chats. So we've set up Telegram chat. Okay, so we've got a Telegram group. You can have up to 200,000 people on Telegram, so that's great. And we put exactly the same information. Yeah, the conversations might go different ways, but we put all the relevant information in all these chats. I am actually looking into getting a group set up. I didn't really want to go down that route because I think the groups can be a little bit hit and miss, but I may well set up a group in the future. But the chats are really important. And then we've got everything else from the company, right? So we've got our Freedom Chasers team are part of the bigger power team, if you like. That's the sort of overall major team in the
big
company.
Umbrella almost.
Big umbrella. So we've got a lot of support from the power team. We've got a power team website where we've got lots of training videos and everything on there. I've created a resource website for the team as well. I've created a prospecting website. Now I'm not a web designer, but I'm okay. You know, I've knocked a few bits and pieces together for our teams as well. And then we've got the Success from Home website, which is the corporate website. It's got all the intro videos. It's got everything basically. So we've got instant support in Messenger and Telegram. Okay. We've got group support in the various resource websites that we have available. But I don't want to overdo it because it can just blow people's minds. So I'm trying to keep it.
Yeah, and you've got your referral to go to as well. So like whoever's
Exactly,
coming, you can go and ask questions to your referral as well.
First port of call is your person that's introduced you. And if they can't help, go upline.
That's brilliant.
And there's also the webinar, isn't there? We have like a webinar we can go on as well to watch things and chat things in the Freedom Chasers. We've got a weekly one there.
Yes, we've started doing our weekly presentation. We have our team Zoom as well on a Thursday night, weekly presentation for prospects on a Sunday night. So yeah, we've hopefully we've got all bases covered, but always open to suggestions, you know. So
brilliant, that John. So right from the beginning of it, you can be part-time, say, investor if you want, or you could go right to the top and say, I want this as a driven business. So the difference is, I suppose, if you're taking it as a business from your perspective. Yeah,
definitely. It's a multi-million pound business. That's the way I look at it. You know, even though it cost me $300, you know, I've never made this sort of income in any business I've been a part of in 17 years online, you know, or in this industry. So this has been the turning point, this business for me. Yeah.
So I think if you keep an open mind, even if you don't want to invest straight away, or say, go to the $500 pack straight away, go on the 300, nurture it, you could possibly think, hang on a minute, there's more to this. So 6 months in, because of all the support, you could say, right, bang, I want to treat this more as a business, even if it's a part-time hustle. So that part-time hustle could then develop into a business. It's there for them, basically.
Yeah, their choice.
Yep. When you see the numbers that come in, right? Now I'm connected to Richard, who's like one of our global ambassadors. He's one of the top guys in the company. He lives just not far from me, so I've connected quite well with the guy, and I always like to find these people to build a relationship with, and he inspires me. The fact that he's been in the business since the beginning, pretty much. So July of pre-launch 2019, and he's built an organization now. I think he's in the 130,000 members. But you know, every now and again we get on a private one-on-one call, just for inspirational purposes, let's say. And he shares me stuff, you know, just between him and me. And it just makes me realize that this is something incredible, you know, because I've experienced it myself, right? So when I started on the 300, I jumped the 500, went straight to the 1K because I'd started sharing it with people. And then I just started progressing through the various trade packages. And on my journey up, I could see how the thing was getting faster and faster. Okay. And it just gets, the momentum starts creating, and you get to those next packages. After you've got over I think it's the $3,000 trade package, the thing actually starts speeding up. So you're going up the packs quicker if you're doing the team building side of things. Well, scrap that. Even if you're not doing the team building, the returns get bigger the further the packs go. But obviously I was team building, and you see the numbers just start coming in and thinking, how did that happen? And it only takes a handful of people to build an insane business, because really to hit the leadership ranks, you only need actually to hit the first 3 leadership ranks, you only need 2 strong legs of business. And then when you want to go for the luxury cars, it needs 3 strong legs of business. But it's phenomenal, guys, you know, when this thing starts really rolling. And the beautiful thing is that everyone's winning. That's what I really am passionate about. Everybody is making an income within 72 hours, 3 business days. So everybody's happy. You know, we're all obviously moving at different speeds, but everyone's eventually going to get there. And that's just been a turning point for me, and that's why I've become 100% laser focused, shut out everything else apart from the day job, and just laser focused on doing this, because over all the years, all I've ever wanted is a business where everybody wins, nobody gets left behind, and that's what we found here.
Brilliant.
We've noticed that, John, as well, by the way, because we've only been in a few weeks, and yet one of our packs is already up to nearly the 2K pack already, and we've only been in a few weeks because we have been bringing referrals.
Yeah.
And you can see it in front of your eyes, and you think, bloody hell, this has got some potential.
Well, then when I saw that, I was just like, you know, this is serious. So I actually got my son a trade package. Okay, so you can have 3 trade packages under one household, right? So I was like, right, okay, I've got to get all these packs right. Who's gonna have one, right? So I purchased my son a trade package, and I've put him underneath me. And obviously, the beauty of that is then I have control. I kind of can develop his leg as well. So I only need those 2 legs, remember? So I can really work on a leg down to build my positions.
Yeah.
And then I brought my mum in as well, 82-year-old, retired. She lives in the annex in the back garden. She's got some savings, and she showed me her bank statement like back at the beginning of 2020 when I got started. She said, look, this is what my interest for last year for all this savings. And it was like, what? Something ridiculous, like 0.1%, or it's just sickening. And she's worked all her life, and this is her life savings, and now they're making her nothing. So I said, look, just put, you know, a little bit of that into this, and let's see what happens. So she just put, you know, bought a 2K package straight out the gate, and she's done nothing. She's just a customer. She's never recruited anyone. I've never put anyone underneath her. We just want to leave that as a completely customer related account, passive account, and she's about to go up to the 5K. So this is what, 7-8 months later. You know, so she's progressing, and her trade, if she had got into this 5 years ago, you know, and she was sitting on a 100K pack, you know.
Oh, it's amazing though, isn't it? You know, that, because I mean, like you say, you look at that savings account that she's had, and she's got peanuts from it, and just literally putting it into something else and using it almost like a savings account. It's grown. Yeah,
and this was just a very small percent of what she's actually got in her savings. You know, just took a little piece of it into this platform, and far surpassed what she gets from a larger sum in the other option, let's just say.
And, almost seems too good to be true, doesn't it? We have a few people say that to us, and we say, well, it is. The thing of beauty you've got to be in, though, to witness it, though, John, isn't it?
Totally.
It's hard to describe all the time and say, well, do this, do that. But when you're in it, then you get absorbed by it, and you think, yes.
And the beautiful thing is that proves also, we get a lot of these people that come in and say, oh, it's new people coming in that are sustaining this thing. Well, how can that work out, right? First of all, when you understand how many members, I think we must be up to near 220,000 global members now. Every single one of those people is getting paid depending on which trade package they're on. And, you know, you guys have got the results from the previous day. So you can share that with people. And when you understand that there's like I said, 220,000 members, they've all got a trade package, they're all on various trade packages, but it can't sustain it. You know, it's not a case of the new members are doing this, because it wouldn't work out. The numbers don't calculate, right? And also, you know, I don't know what the percentage is, but there's a lot of people that are just passive customers. How are they making their returns if they're not recruiting people? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that argument is blown out the water straight away. Because we get a lot of people saying, "Oh, it's new people joining." No. Once you understand what people are earning in this business, there's no way that could be the case. When we actively encourage people to come in on the 300 just to test it out. Don't, unless you feel confident, go bigger. I mean, you can go in whatever pack you want, but we encourage people, just get in on the 300, see it for yourself, and then you'll make your decision, you know?
Yeah, brilliant. Right, final question, I promise.
Right.
If there was one piece of advice to give anybody who's thinking of coming on board with this, what would it be?
Just do it. Seriously.
I knew he was going to say that.
Yeah, listen, I'm not going to give any major speech about this, but the thing that I've seen over the last 63 weeks is just that everybody's winning and no one's getting left behind, and that's important for me as an ex-squaddy. you know, and I don't want to leave anybody behind. I've left people behind in other businesses that couldn't sell a product or service, and it's gutting. But the thing here is that it doesn't matter who you are, what your background, what your experience is, everybody can do it.
Yeah.
It's just down to you how fast you do it.
Yeah.
And that's all about this in here, you know. So we've got 18-year-olds on board, we've got 88-year-olds and everything in between, and everybody's winning.
Brilliant.
Okay. And so I just say, look, whether it's going to become your plan B, whether it's going to become your plan C, just do it, because we've got some insane things coming still in 2021, and that you know, Richard hasn't told me because he's had to sign an NDA, would you believe? Because his mouth does sometimes go a little bit like that, bless him. Yeah, he sometimes let the cat out of the bag a bit earlier than he should do. But the thing is, I was on a call with him actually yesterday, and he says, you know what, he said, we had another leadership call yesterday, and this thing is just going to go. He said, I've never seen anything like it in 35 years in the industry. I've never seen anything. What they've got planned for 2021 and moving into the future is going to blow everyone's socks off. And this will become a legacy company.
You can feel it, John. We can feel it as well. We've been around a bit, like I say, 28 years in business together, and you can feel that, mate. So yeah, thanks very much, buddy. I mean, a 20-minute interview always turns into a lot longer.
Yeah, sorry, I do go on a bit, don't I?
No, it's not. We can talk
No,
as well.
Well, I've got to go and take my daughter to the train station now, so I've got to shoot off. So
yeah, but that was fantastic. Thanks for coming on and joining us. Thank you for your time.
Anytime.
I know you said Richard's an inspiration to you, but you're an inspiration to us. So
cheers,
thank you very, very much.
All right, cheers, guys.